Okay, hello and welcome everybody for today's first live stream here on Albertarium channel. Not the first live stream, we did some live streams before, but this is really the first live stream for the community, okay? Everybody from the Albertarium community should watch this live stream now every Wednesday at 4 p.m. London time, 5 p.m. German time, 6 p.m. Cyprus time. These are, from our point of view, well, no, there are many more time zones in the world, but I think most of the people here in the community, they come from these 3 time zones. Of course, we will expand to many other different time zones, and of course, this is the reason why we have this webinar here in English. So I want to start this webinar, which is every Wednesday at this time, right? Every Wednesday at this time. There will be also more educational videos coming from next week on. I think every Friday we will have a video of how to use the indicators, educational content first, and then of course later on also analysis videos to grow the channel and to grow the audience, and of course to give you value. Okay, make you successful in trading. This is our goal, and this is why we work, because it's our passion. Here on this chart, you see some indicators, and I want to introduce these indicators to you, and especially the settings. So at the lower end, you see a volume ventures, which is a volume indicator. And just for those who are already a member of Albertarium, I want to show you the quick settings, which are really important. You need to change these at the beginning. Higher time frame should be chart, and then C-zone up and C-zone down bar should be gray, not red and blue. These things you need to change. Please do so. Then you see the same volume as I have. The same things you need to do for volatility edge zones premium. This is exactly the same information, and of course it should also have this exact same settings as higher time frame chart, C-zone up and down bar as gray. These are my settings, and these are our preferred settings, so you should also put those into your settings. Furthermore, you see OptiStruct Premium, which is an order block indicator. There I haven't changed any settings, so this is standard. And then you see something else, which is our new indicator, which we have currently in beta testing only for the internal team, Wabi-Sabi Wyckoff Flow Structure map. And this new indicator will be released very soon, maybe end of the week, maybe next week, we will see, to exclusively our lifetime members. Okay, we don't have that many lifetime members, but we want to give them some exclusive value. So this is what we do for the exclusive lifetime members. They will get this first for an undefined certain period of time, and then maybe later on we will also roll this out to annual subscribers. Education first. Okay, we at Albertarium, we believe at this market logic. This is called the Wyckoff logic, and this is very important that you internalize this. It becomes second nature, especially for the most liquid markets, the future markets, very, very liquid markets, and also very illiquid markets like meme coins and these kind of things. There is a lot going on with this Wyckoff logic. So Wyckoff, you can read something, and there will be more educational content later on this channel, but you can also read a lot in the on the internet. He has 4 different phases. One is accumulation, which is here at the bottom. Second one is a trend phase, the uptrend phase. Then we have distribution phase at the top, right? Distribution phase in the top, and then downtrend, which is marked down. 4 market phases. And we believe in Alberterium, we believe in these phases, and especially in the accumulation phase and the distribution phase. Okay, these are, from our point of view, the most important phases where big market participants gather volume to prepare for the next move. And this is why these market phases, they look really, really ugly. Okay, they look really, really ugly. And yes, this is, they look that ugly because big market participants are manipulating the price in the really, really short-term phases to cause, to get you out of the market and to gather some more volume to get ready for the next move, get ready for the next trend, and then the same thing happens in the other in the other direction again, somewhen. Of course, it can also, like from a distribution phase, like it can always go higher, but then it's not a distribution phase, it's another accumulation phase. We can also have accumulation phase, trend, another accumulation phase, trend, and so on. Of course, this is also possible. So, just for you to understand, like every downtrend in this case ends with a selling climax. Selling climax is what we think is like the starting point of an end of a trend, okay, with a volume spike very, very near, very, very close by. And then we have the first thing is an automatic reaction, okay? After this volume spike, we get an automatic reaction from the market, from the big market participants, because this is what they do. They want to buy at these lower levels, and this is what they do. They buy it with an automatic reaction impulse. They go in the market and they stop the falling trend. Okay? You will see this also on the charts. That's why I explain it to you now. Okay, then we have this spring phase. We have a very ugly phase. We have a secondary tests here at the lower end, which is a low volume phase, a failed sell-off. Okay, and then we get the preparation. This is the preparation basically to prepare for the next upward move and finish the accumulation phase and go to the mark-up phase, the uptrend phase. The uptrend phase ends with a buying climax. Buying climax is categorized with a volume spike again, and after the volume spike we see an automatic reaction in short direction, of course, finishing this upward move, and then we see this range phase with a secondary test again, failed reaction, failed upward move, and then a downward trend. Okay, so it's quite complex, these kind of things, and but we put all this into our indicators, all this market structure, all these things, and that's how we analyze and look at the markets here at Alberterium. Good. So following, I'm also very, I love to get your feedback. I see some names here in the chat window: Pink Piggy, hi, Mr. Rami, Nick, Yasmin, Daniel. Welcome everybody. Please write something in the chat window. Write your questions, your comments, everything in the chat window, because this gives some interaction to YouTube, and YouTube will see that we have some interaction, and we have 20 current viewers and only 10 likes. Okay, please give the channel also a like, give the things a like, what I do here. Also for those who are watching the recording, okay, write your questions, write your feedback below the video after you watch the recording. It just takes you like 10 seconds, and of course, like the video. Subscribe to the channel, of course. Okay, so I will analyze now, starting with BTC. Okay, we analyze now the three markets for you: Bitcoin, Euro, USD, and then the NASDAQ in different time frames. Okay, I start with a 4-hour chart, and then we go down to the 1 hour, 50 minutes. And if you want also lower, everything is possible. And so you get some insights, and we get some more trading setups here. Also, I draw some my hypothesis on the chart, and we will see next week how everything's turned out. Good. We start with BTC. Bitcoin is in a very impulsive rally to the upside. Okay, when we zoom out in the 4-hour chart, we had this bottom building process here at 80,000. We touched 74,000 and finished this with a low volume spike or low activity spike. Right? You see this here. There was no sellers left at these lows. We didn't have any aggressive selling volume, no colorful candles, no really colorful candles here. So yeah, this was the failure of this downward movement, and then the preparation also for this upward movement. Just to give you some more impressions and to show you what we did here on the charts. This is the Wyckoff Wabi-Sabi indicator, which is in beta phase. Here you see the selling climax named SC, then the automatic reaction, okay, and then the secondary test here with the failure over there, and well, then the move to the upside, and then also we project some targets based on our volume and order blocks levels. Since then, Bitcoin is in this bull move and always building this like range phases, accumulation phases, or distribution phases. And it is in this kind of move, in this kind of phase, since the last upward spike to new all-time highs and levels of 123,000 here. Since then, we consolidate, and now, of course, it is the question, is this an accumulation phase or a distribution phase? From the current view, this is not 100% clear. Okay, since or as long as Microsoft Bitcoin will stay here in this range, yeah, it's not 100% clear. The targets are not 100% clear, but already we see here on the 4-hour chart a selling climax level, the automatic reaction level over here, secondary tests, and what I'm missing in this, that we really finish this downward or finish this upward movement, is a volume spike, a spike to the upside, and then a failure. Okay. If we see this kind of situation, a spike with new all-time highs, no buyers here at this elevated levels, no volume, colorful candles on the volume, okay, then this is a failure, and we can sell this kind of levels in Bitcoin, of course, for a short-term period of time, maybe some days, some weeks, because I think Bitcoin, and I think most of you think the same, is in a buying trend, is in an upward trend as the US indices as well. And once this downtrend has established and finished again in a absorption phase or in an accumulation phase, then there is another time to buy. Okay, so if you're a long-term holder of Bitcoin, you don't need to buy, you don't need to sell here. But how you can use this information is there will be lower time frames, lower prices to again buy for lower prices your Bitcoin shares. Okay, so this is my hypothesis for Bitcoin. Of course, it is in this, like in the current market phase, it's very difficult. It can also go like this. Okay, this is super because we are in the middle of the range. Nothing is, it's not 100% defined how the market will move and how it will look like in the next days. Okay, this can also happen. This is my hypothesis in the 4-hour chart. Let's go to the 1-hour chart. If you have any questions, write your questions in the chat window and I will answer them after my Bitcoin analysis. So in the 1-hour chart, we see basically the same. Okay. We see this colorful candles, all-time highs with color. So usually we see another test, new all-time highs without any colorful candles and another failure. Here we also see that we had some activity at the lower end of this range. They failed. They failed to continue to the downside. Again, a break to the upside, to the upper side of this range. And yeah, it looks like we will get this scenario. I think we will get this breakout scenario pretty soon, maybe after the Fed meeting today. Okay, Fed meeting today, of course, very, very important. After the Fed meeting, a spike to the upside and then a failure in Bitcoin, in the US indices would be my preferred scenario. Let's go to the 15-minute chart. Well, here in Bitcoin, it's the same, pretty much the same always. But of course, in Bitcoin, we also see now this Wyckoff method, Wyckoff logic, in the lower time frames. So we see a similar situation in this area. We see another similar situation in this area. So coming down to these levels, okay, I would suggest that we will spike to the upside immediately. We will go to the upside, maybe have another test here, like this. Yes, we broke to the upside with volume. We come down, test this level again, and then we continue higher. Okay? Yes. Yes, looks bullish for Bitcoin for the next days, and then to new all-time highs. What I see here, and then the failure or the continuation. And this is very important. Okay, let's drive this again, write this again. We can also, if we have for some reason really, really strong buying at this elevated levels, we can continue this upward trend. And this is how we, or how you can see whether a range, whether a breakout is valid or whether it's a fake. If a breakout really needs to follow with volume. If there's no volume in the breakout, it's a failure. Okay, so 50-minute chart I think is the lowest time frame what I would like to go here. Of course, you can also go down to a 5-minute to 1 minute. All these tools, everything works on the lower time frame as well. But of course, you need to watch, be a little bit more careful because the higher time frame, the bigger picture matters more. I think everybody from you know it. So which markets should we talk to? Pink Piggy, when you say no volume, do you mean only black candles or could there be just a volume divergence with less color? Yes, of course. I mean black candles. Okay. Here you see also that I have the a volume divergence is also fine. Volume divergence is also fine. I have this like the real volume indicator also there. I mean, of course, volume which is not relevant for this breakout move. So this is the breakout and it should be gray. Good. Okay, so let's look at the other markets. And there we look at the euro. Okay. The euro, we have in the euro, we had a really bullish move. Yeah, from 1.02 to the upside. Really bullish, impulsive candles, big volume, big buying volume here, and decreasing volume in volume ventures, and of course also the other to the upside. Okay. So what are we looking for? We are looking for a continuation or a break. Let's go to the 4 hour time frame. Currently, we have sellers, active sellers, selling this market. They broke the demand on the 4-hour chart here already, and this was the time to exit. If you had a long position, time to exit here or there, wherever, depending on your time frame, what you're trading on. So what we are expecting in this market to turn is that we have another distribution phase, we have a failed rally for this market to turn. Okay. So from my point of view, currently we are facing in this extreme order block, we are trying to go to the historical, or we are at the historical decision order block. Change of character is done, and until the colorful candles here in volume ventures are there, this move will continue. After this move, so it will continue. I don't think we go that far to the downside anymore. I think after this move, we will see an upward reaction, take the inducement out, maybe to extreme order block, and then it is time for the failure. Okay. So I always say this with like when the color goes, it's very important, because we had similar situation here, a little bit ugly phase here, ugly bottom building phase, and also here. Okay, so very important. Let's go to the 1-hour chart. So volume ventures need some time. On the 1-hour chart, what do we see? Zoom out. Yeah, we see similar picture. Market is in this upward move, and we don't need to go that high to test this one. Here, this would be fine, yes. So currently, looking at volume ventures, we see everything in line. Okay. Lower volume, lower prices. Well, more negative volume in volume ventures, more lower prices. So everything is in tandem. No divergence here. And of course, this process, this bottom building process, can take some time. Similar to this bottom building process, where we had a similar situation. Of course, it was not that extreme. Okay, it took some time, and then we were ready for this upward move. So this is something what I'm saying. It will take some more days, maybe Thursday, maybe Friday, to build this bottom, and then for next week start to the upside, and then we have a nicer selling opportunity here at the bottom. So of course, depending on your trading direction, depending on your market hypothesis, depending on your entry patterns, depending on your style, you can either wait for the bottom building process to finish, trade this one to the upside. It is a shorter term, from my point of view, a shorter term trade, and the higher time frame trade would be, or the longer trade would be short in this elevated scenarios. Yeah, in the downward move. Okay. We also have some targets for this short move here in the 1 hour chart, which could be 112. 112, yes, 112 can be one target. Let's go to the 50-minute chart. In the 50-minute chart, yeah, the downtrend is still very, very valid and stable. We see more volume coming in, more colorful candles, larger colorful candles coming in. So nothing to do here. As long as this market stays below the supply in the 50-minute chart, how many supplies do we have? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4 supplies. So there can be one more supply at least. Falling prices, continuation, bottom building process, and then in this phase we have another supply, and when this one will get taken out, then it's time to think of longs. Okay, from the current point of view, from my point of view, it's too early to think of longs. We are in this bottom building process. It might be really ugly for the market participants to turn this market or to buy here, to stop selling and kick all the sellers, the small investors, the small traders, small sellers out who are jumping on this trend, and then later on big institutions, big investors selling again because they distributed more volume. So that's my hypothesis in the 2 time frames. I mentioned the levels because, or let's say like this, we see the levels. Where's our order blocks, order block indicators, very, very clear, very good. Supply, decisional order block, extreme order block. These are our levels which we need to watch for. Okay, so you can write one more market in your chat, in the chat window. If you don't have one, I will analyze the NASDAQ NQ. In the 4-hour chart, NASDAQ is in a very, 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 very bullish move to the upside since beginning of April. Yeah, really, really impressive what the big market participants, the algorithms, are doing here. 80% of the transactions, especially in the indices, are made, even sometimes even more, made by algorithms. I think these days it's more than 80%. So what do we see here? We also see a trend which achieved all targets. Yeah, all targets are achieved. We have one more target here at 24,000, which might be there, which they might take just because they can do it. But take a look at the volume in the 4-hour chart here. We don't have a lot of buying volume, no aggressive market participants anymore. It's just a drift to the upside. Big market participants, from my point of view, gathering some volume, selling to higher prices, lifting the US indices to the upside, and somewhen it will end. It will end. Of course, we see this end when we get taken out our order blocks. Okay, order blocks 23,390. This is the one which is relevant. This one, previous one already got taken out. We have a lot of demand order blocks here. I think there's something going on. Fed meeting, watch for the reaction in the Fed meeting. I think we get this reaction and then a failure. But as long as we don't see the failure, the trend is to the upside. When we get lower prices as this 20,400, it is time to take profits or to look to close some positions. Not too early, because as you know, this market will not turn like this. It will go to the downside, it will try to rotate like this, and then it will turn. Of course, this rotation might take some days, some weeks, depending on what happens and what happened. So there is always another test, like I showed here in this one. This is the spike, so there's this test automatic reaction, and then if we see this, we can always sell. So there's a lot of time. We don't need to sell the all-time highs. We can sell the moves afterwards, or we can get ready for taking profits or for selling. In the 1 hour chart, we have a similar picture. Okay, in the 1 hour chart, everything is the same. It's pretty full, right? This chart with all these things. Yeah, it's self-destruct. It's all right. Yeah, so everything still here in this 1 hour chart looks like we are building buying climax here, automatic reaction. Secondary test is already in place. So what needs to take place is this, or of course it can go really ugly like this. Everything is possible in these range markets. Okay, we are in this range, so from the current point of view, the direction in the 1 hour chart is not 100% clear. The future direction, the future trend. What is the next move? Let's go to the 50-minute chart. In the 50-minute chart, we have a similar picture. Well, we broke to the upside. No buyers here. Yesterday, not that many buyers. Distribution at this elevated level, sell-off, and back to the point of control from Monday. And that's where we are sitting now, waiting for the Fed decision, waiting for big market participants to go in the market again. And I still think, as I mentioned, we might continue higher also from this point of view. We might continue higher, break the, finish this move, turn, come back again, and then finally turn. Of course, with news, everything can change, and the market can also like boost and accelerate to the upside. Just continue as it would be no end. Always new all-time highs every day, and yeah, good. So this is what we do here on Alberterium every week on Wednesday, going through the markets. I love to get your feedback, and Frederick is posting a stock market, Berkshire. You are looking, I think, to BAB. Yeah. So I look at Berkshire Hathaway A, because there is the highest volume, not at the B, but you can put this into context. I think it's just a factor of the A version. And yeah, here I would like to start with the daily chart. Okay, the daily chart. I think I did analysis of Berkshire on ETF Max channel, on my German channel. Yeah, quite recently. No, not recently. Some months ago. And named the correction. I named better buying prices to buy Berkshire stock, I think here at these high points. And this is also what we see here, right? New all-time highs without any colorful candles, without any participation of big market participants. So it was time to sell or to take profits or whatever, not to buy anymore. Let's say it like this, not to buy anymore because there will be lower time frames coming. There will be lower price levels. We need to see how good these levels are with stocks. Okay, need to be honest. But actually, it's it might be possible. This downward move is in place, and yeah. We have sellers here on the daily chart in Berkshire. This is a very, very rare situation, right? Look at this. We had this last time in October 23, and the market went down a couple of times more, and then they rallied again. So this is very important, and of course, one really big and important thing is market structure. So if Berkshire breaks out above this 731, it looks like this bottom is in, and this bottom is in, and you can buy again. But of course, as long as this downward trend is still valid and stable, it can continue to the downside, and also can continue, even though nobody will think of, can continue below the 7th of April. Just 1-2 days. This might be possible. And of course then, it's buying time somewhere in here, right? Good. So I would love to get your feedbacks, about the thing what we do here. Do you like this format? Do you like this format? What do you want me to change? Is there anything? Yeah, please write it in the chat window. I love to get your feedback because we want to do good things for you, for the community. Great advice. Thank you. I am long on NASDAQ since a few days, going to right direction. Yes. MID, thank you for your feedback. Frederick, what can you say about the connection BRKA and BRKB and regarding current situation? Warren's decision to be only chairman from 26 never happened before. That's why I have a special situation mainly. So I think Warren's decision is not new to the market. It doesn't bring any unsureness because he put the right people in place many, many years before. And also he mentioned on many investment conferences before that he's not the main driver behind Berkshire anymore. This man is pretty old. And yes, he has good people. He hired good people for Berkshire managing all his funds. So I would not worry about this. Berkshire A and Berkshire B, I don't know actually. Please do your own research, but look at the price. 714,000 is Berkshire A. And Berkshire B is 476,000. Maybe there is a fraction, there's some kind of factor. Maybe ask ChatGPT. I don't know. about the connection. Actually, I think they made Berkshire Hathaway B just for small investors, exclusively for small investors, and the price will copy, because it's like pool investors, or I don't know, copy the price, and Berkshire A is for the big institutional investors who really want to invest, okay? And they don't care about the price. I don't know actually if this is right or wrong. Please make your own research. I never had Berkshire Hathaway stocks, need to be honest, but yeah. Yeah. The format is great. Thank you so much, Pink Piggy. Thank you for your feedback. And okay, I think if there are no other questions, nothing from you here, thank you for your participation. Yeah, thank you a lot. I don't want to extend this webinar too much. We will come back next week, and we will do this every week, give more value to the community. Of course, if you have any questions, feel free to ask all your questions here or in the Discord channel. If you want me to answer or to read your question, please pin me with @Philip. Okay, otherwise I will not read. I cannot read everything. I will not read everything. I never had Berkshire stocks because they are too boring for me. But maybe it's it's a thing. It's a mindset thing. Okay. Thanks for watching. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your likes. See you next week with another stream, and of course we will post new videos here also on Albertium channel, educational content. Have a great evening. See you next week. Bye bye.